Honor to the ancestors and love to the world. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 3 on the detox series. We're still going up the ladder of light. Last episode, we touched on intermittent fasting, reducing the amount of food that you take in, and also removing certain foods from your diet, so to say. So let's jump into the third episode without further ado. Today, I want to touch on the topic specific on transition, or introduce the topic of transition, because as much as we can understand that detoxing is removing all this buildup that you all this buildup through what you've been breathing in, through what you've been eating and drinking, and so on and so on. We also want to talk about basically making this a sustainable endeavor, in the sense that you look at it in a sense where you're not just gonna keep going back to the same toxic ways that got you where you are right now, but looking to transition to a new way of life that will allow you to at least enjoy a bit, and at the same time be able to balance out and also heal and remove toxins. Now, when you incorporate what you've learned from the first step on the ladder of life, you basically have like a hack. Getting proper hydration, removing certain foods, eating less, and eating in a specific time frame, that's already a hack on its own. So now, when you look at transitional diets, right, not necessarily, you just going on a specific fast, but just a diet to say that for the next 5 years, I'll be eating a certain type of way. And for a lot of people who are still into the meats, into the cheese, into the eggs, into the fish, you do have alternatives. Plant-based diets that mimic the meats and the cheeses and the eggs and all that. Then you have vegetarianism, where you basically remove a lot of things, but you actually just remove meat from the whole equation and keep everything else. And then you have the whole pescatarian movement, where you basically remove the meats, you remove the cheese, you remove the eggs, and you just keep the fish and the grains and whatever else you have going on, and that, for most who are subscribers to that type of lifestyle, it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet, because we understand a diet as something that you do for a little bit of time for you to try to get a certain result, which is usually just people trying to lose weight, from the Atkins diet to the, what is this other one, that was trending in 2021. I can't think of its name right now, but I'm glad it's dead in the water. But yeah, so what I want you to start thinking about is transition. Where am I going to transition to? Am I going to transition into vegetarianism? Am I going to transition into pescatarianism? Am I going to transition into veganism? Am I going to transition into whole food, plant-based diets? Am I going to transition into being what you call this, a fruitarian? Am I going to transition into being liquiditarian? Am I going to transition into being a breatharian? And that's basically like the whole ladder. I just broke down the whole ladder for you. But it's just going at your pace. For others, others can go from eating meat to straight, being like just taking in liquids, just only taking in liquids. You know, it's a hard fork, but the benefits are incredible. Not everyone, has that type of willpower. So hence me walking through the ladder of light. And a lot of things I don't have to explain. So the plan was to actually just to break down the next step, which was looking at what you call this a vegetarian and a pescatarian lifestyle. But it's simple. Like I just broke it down earlier on. It's literally just removing meat from the equation. You still keep a lot of the things that you're still eating right now. You can do that for like a year, see what the benefits are, see how your body reacts to that, and then once you've done and over with that, just look at the next vista. The next vista being veganism, basically removing all animal products. You can do the Batman or the Natiman veganism, which is basically eating a lot of meat replacement products. You're still eating a lot of processed foods, but it's more plant-based processed foods. Because in that scope of fear or sphere, it's more about the animal rights and animal treatment rather than health in itself. Past that, beyond that, would be a plant-based diet. Plant-based diet is exactly what it sounds like. Foods that are fruits, vegetables, beans, legumes, wheats, and grains. And that's basically that. So for this one, I want you to start considering your life. Just look at your life as it is right now, and if you are looking to detox, really just consider all of these things that I've brought forward to you, and think about which one would be more suitable for me. And then, like we discussed in the first video, pick a starting time, pick an end date, to say that from this point up until this point, I'm basically going to be a vegetarian, and just see how life is as a vegetarian. From this point up until this point, I'm gonna be a vegan. See how that turns out. From this point to that point, and so on and so on and so on and so on and so on. You get the point. You get the point. Or at least I hope you get the point. Because there is benefits to this whole thing. You just have to be patient with yourself. You just have to be constantly reminding yourself why you're doing this. And I tell you now, you will thank yourself. You will thank yourself for transitioning into a more healthier lifestyle or a less toxic lifestyle. You don't have to jump out of the plane, so to say, and just go straight into breatharianism or straight into just eating fruits. Be patient with yourself. Go through the motions. Backtrack. Through this mess that we find ourselves as human beings. And with that said, I'm gonna cap it right here. This is what Wellness Wednesday. Probably gonna drop a video on a Thursday, but thank you for waiting. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate. Hit the subscribe. Hit the like. Share it with your people, and all that good stuff. Until the next episode. Peace.